Alright, so this video is going to show you how to replace the anvil in a Milwaukee M12 Ratchet. 1/4 inch, 3/8, same thing. The only difference is the anvil that goes in here. And they sell the anvil kit. That's the best way to repair this. And I've noticed that the actual problem doesn't really lie in the anvil itself. You'll see a lot of people replacing it because the lock ball falls out or they snap it off. But a common problem with these ratchets is, with these Milwaukee M12 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive ratchets, is the pin that the pawl sits on and the hole that it's located in wear out. That pin and that hole wear out. The pawl itself doesn't really wear out, and the anvil itself doesn't really wear out as far as a mechanical mechanism standpoint is concerned. So to get this started, basically, removal will be reverse of install in this case. So what you want to do is center this. You want to turn the dial so it's in between forward and reverse. I've already got my outer retaining clip on my pliers. Got the pliers tightened down so it holds it open a little bit. And this has a bunch of little piston type things with springs underneath them to apply pressure to the plate. So you want to flip the ratchet over. I got a towel here so I don't get it all greasy. Flip the ratchet over and go to this end of the ratchet, holding this like this upright with the pawl adjusted to where it sits even. It's not sticking up on either side. And you want to start going in there, and it's in. Just like that. Now it doesn't matter if the dial turns or the pawl catches. It'll actually help stay in there. So now that you got that, you want to go with your new plate here. Look at the indent. Look at the stamp side of the plate. You want the rounded side up. You want the flat side down on there. And then kind of the same deal with the clip. Rounded side up, flat side down. This one's kind of worn in, but I got the flat side down. So, and the goal isn't to get this all in the first shot here. You'll see what's going on after we get this on here. You get that down there. And then you get it around that. Now I've got to release these. And when you get that, you take a screwdriver and you get it seated as far as you can on there. And then my method to get this down in there, because there's a groove, it's not in the groove yet. It's not down in the groove. You can see how spread apart that clip is. What I do is I get a 13 millimeter or 1/2 inch socket. I think this is a 13 on this one. I place it down over there, and I get my clamp. Let me find the clamp now that I just had. Here we go. You want to get this style clamp, and you kind of want to center it, get the socket centered. Try not to move it around too much or you might release that clip. And you go on there like this and you start clamping down and you wiggle that around wiggle that around. Clamp it down really good. And you release it. You see where you're at. And see? Look how close that is now. It went down into the groove. There's a groove in there. You can kind of see it. Let me turn the light on. There is a groove that sits down in. And you can see it's in there. And then, so what that allows, that when that pin wears out, or the hole that the pin sits in wears out, when that wears out, this works on like an oscillating system. Basically, it runs around in there. When that wears out, this will stop rotating, and that repaired this. So that's how you fix your. I think this is the first gen. This is not the fuel models. The fuel models, they changed the anvil style. This is not related to those models. This is the first like generation models, the non-fuel 3/8 and 1/4 inch Milwaukee M12 ratchets, not the fuel models. So hopefully that helps. I've heard the second gen ones, the fuel models, are a lot easier to change, so I just wanted to show a video because getting that clip back on there is the hardest thing. Socket, clamp, or vise. It's going to be your best friend for changing these. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it helps someone.